Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of Startup Talks. Today we're covering 4 startups: Escape in AI security, Wayve in autonomous driving, Plato in B2B sales automation, and Biorce in clinical trials. Plus, the bigger trend tying them all together, why the best startups right now are winning through partnerships. This week's theme is something we've touched on before. The best funded AI startups aren't just picking hot niches. They're winning through partnership ecosystems, integrations, co-selling, entering through existing platforms.
But wait, my combinator always says you need a fully vertical business. Isn't that a contradiction?
Not really. Vertical is about specialization, what you do and for whom. Partnership is about distribution, how you reach customers. The two don't exclude each other.
Fair point. Though the real question is, when you grow through a partner's ecosystem, do you actually own those customers?
That's exactly what we'll see in each of today's startups. Some handle it well, others less so. First up is Escape, an AI platform for offensive security. They simulate real-world cyber attacks, full red team engagements to find and fix vulnerabilities before real incidents happen.
Hang on, is that offensive or defensive? Because they're helping you defend, but the method is attacking.
It's offensive by method, defensive by goal. Red team means you're acting as the attacker, finding breach points, writing breach reports. Blue team is the one doing monitoring and incident response. Escape plays red team.
Got it. So who actually buys this?
Big organizations where the cost of a real breach is enormous. Defense agencies, energy companies, oil and gas, major banks. They literally hire Escape to try to break their systems, learn what breaks, and fix it before real attackers find it.
That makes sense economically. You spend $1 million on a simulated attack and save 10 million on a real one.
Exactly, and this connects to something you built, your pentest agent for OpenCloud. You found a handful of vulnerabilities in a week that you would have missed just doing functional testing.
Right, and that was just a single agent. Imagine a coordinated team of agents, one orchestrating, each specialized in a different attack vector, and one dedicated to staying hidden from detection systems. At that point, I honestly don't think humans have much of a defense.
That's why this market exists and why it's getting more serious. Escape raised 15.4 million or Series A led by Balderton. They sell through direct outreach to security teams. No mass email campaigns here.
What's the likely exit? This feels too sensitive to go public.
Acquisition, for sure. A Palantir type player or straight government. These tools are too strategic to stay independent long term. Next is Wayve, a proprietary hardware and software stack for autonomous driving, licensed to automakers and fleet operators.
I don't have much to say here, honestly. This isn't really a startup anymore. Mercedes-Benz, Stellantis, Uber, Microsoft, they're already integrated everywhere.
You're right, they only hit the news this week because they closed a $1.5 billion Series D at an $8.6 billion valuation. That's the whole story.
Classic deep tech trajectory, though. Brutal barriers to entry, incredibly long sales cycles, but once you're inside an automaker's ecosystem, you're basically locked in.
And that's the partnership model at work. You can't shortcut into automotive without co-development deals and fleet pilots. The risk is too high for buyers without that validation.
If we could go back a week, we'd buy the stock. Close around like that, and the price jumps.
Third startup is Plato, based in Berlin. They build sales automation software specifically for B2B distributors. And before you ask, yes, we spent a while figuring out what a B2B distributor actually is.
I'm glad you said that because I genuinely needed the explanation.
A B2B distributor is a company that sells another company's product or service to businesses. adding their own expertise or vertical knowledge on top. Think someone who resells HubSpot to fintech companies or distributes pension products from insurance companies to employers.
So, not an agency, not a reseller in the pure sense, more of a specialized intermediary with domain expertise.
Exactly. And here's the niche insight. Generic CRMs don't serve them well. Salesforce is 10K per seat, completely out of range. Sugar CRM is outdated. Pipedrive has no vertical specialization. Plato integrates natively into whatever CRM they already use and adds distributor-specific workflow automation.
My bet is someone on the founding team was a B2B distributor themselves. That's the only way you find a niche this specific that nobody talks about.
Almost certainly, they're backed by Atomico, and apparently Atomico's reputation alone opens doors with customers. Seed round of 12 millimeters, total funding 17.9 millimeters.
Hard to scale globally. This feels very German market specific, maybe even tied to local regulations on distributor commissions.
Possibly, but if the local market is big enough and you own it deeply, that's a real business. The key lesson, find a niche with genuine volume that nobody has built for and integrate into their existing stack rather than asking them to switch. Last one is Biorce, based in Barcelona. AI platform for clinical trials. They accelerate patient recruitment, trial design, and monitoring for pharma companies.
Clinical trials, that's a seriously complex space. Multi-year processes, heavy regulation, double-blind randomized studies. What exactly are they solving?
The key pain point is protocol amendments. If your trial protocol needs a correction after submission, that can cost up to $1 million and take 6 weeks. Biorce's platform, called ICA, generates a compliant protocol in about 90 seconds with 86% fewer subsequent revisions.
So it's not really about the patients, it's about the paperwork.
It's both, actually. They have their own database of over 1 million real trial data points, which they use to optimize patient selection and site feasibility. But yes, the regulatory documentation piece is the real differentiator.
In a space this regulated, the audit trail and compliance story must be airtight. Pharma companies aren't going to hand this over to a black box.
Right. There will be constant audits and oversight, but that's actually Biorce's moat. They've already done the work to make their outputs regulator ready. Founded in 2024, Series A of 43 million, total funding 52 million.
That's a remarkable amount for a company barely a year old.
That's what happens when your product saves pharma companies millions per trial. In regulated industries, whoever can prove compliance and measurable time savings on pilots wins, and Biorce has that evidence. That's all for today. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode of Startup Talks.